Hey y'all. So happy Tuesday. Hopefully everybody is doing well. Hey, all right. Hey, Scott. Hey, Roland. So it's actually something, Scott, that's going on in Canada, but I'm just going to kind of use it to talk about more and follow up about some stuff we've already been talking about. Hey, Helena. Hopefully everybody is doing well. No, Helena, you're not late because I'm late, okay? That's why you're not late. So look, I was at my grandma's house earlier today, hanging out, went to visit my grandma, and my grandma started cooking, and she was like, go in there and get you something to eat, girl. So, in the South, we like when grandma say go get you something to eat, you go get you something to eat. So I had to wait for her to finish cooking. So I've been over there earlier today, and I'm not even too long being home. So I'll probably not even be on here long tonight, y'all. But she cooked black eyed peas and cornbread and yams and ham hocks, even though I don't eat that, but everything else was like delicious. So so I'm late today, so welcome everybody. Hopefully everybody's doing good. Like I said, I don't plan on being on here very long, but I did just want to talk about a few things today. So yes, Helena, I will send you some leftovers. I don't know how good they'll be by the time they get to you, but I sure will send them. Y'all, I'm telling you, like my grandma, no lie, has the best freaking cornbread in the world, and like she won't give anybody the recipe, which just I'm like, why not? But it's literally like you can eat it by itself, like standing alone. It's like it's sweet as cake, and it's so soft and moist and buttery. Oh my god. Okay, let me stop thinking about it. But anyway, so yeah, that's why I'm late today, because I've been eating good. But hopefully everybody is doing well. If you're new, make sure you let me know. Make sure you let me know where you're from. And then I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into a few things that I wanted to talk about. The first being that if y'all, hey Kim, how are you? The first thing being if y'all are on WhatsApp, okay? Y'all know I've been telling y'all what's going on, how these people do. If you are on WhatsApp, there was a breach of security recently. As a matter of fact, I think it happened today, if I'm not mistaken, sometime this week, like today or something. So if you have WhatsApp, you want to definitely make sure that you either update the app or whatever. Because I don't know y'all know it's been a lot going on with this Facebook and this Google and this YouTube and this Instagram. It's just a lot. But you definitely want to, if they did not send you a like a update message to update that, you definitely want to do that. And I want to give y'all like a little brief kind of what's going on from this article or whatever. Let me show y'all. Okay, so share. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Kim. Hey, Kim. Thank y'all. Okay, so This is from CNN Business, and this is who is NSO, the company tied to the WhatsApp security breach. And so this was just uploaded today. So WhatsApp just pushed a significant update to its 1.5 billion users. That's because the messaging service has discovered a security flaw that enable attackers to remotely install spyware, possibly without the target of the surveillance even being aware of it. A select group of users were targeted, okay, by an advanced cyber actor, whatever that is, the company said. So, who might have been responsible? The attack has all the hallmarks of a private company reportedly that works with governments to deliver spyware that takes over the functions of mobile phone operating systems, the company said. To anyone immersed in the murky world of cybersecurity and surveillance, it was pretty clear who WhatsApp was referring to. A source familiar with the investigation tied the spyware to an Israeli-based security developer called NSO Group. So it's basically a multi-million-dollar Israeli tech firm that specializes in cyber surveillance tools. And it goes on to talk about this. They work with like 45 countries. It's just a lot going on, y'all. So just, with these apps, be careful. The ones you don't have to have, don't have them. But I know it's really hard because we get so used to communicating on these things, keeping in touch with people and all these. But I would definitely link this article below. And I just want to run that past y'all so y'all can know what's going on. Thank you, Akeem. Hey, John. So Roland said all our phone calls are routed through Israel too. And the crazy part, like, I'm going to have to do way more research into this because I've kind of been telling y'all some of the stuff that's going on with like face recognition. And then they're doing like these social cards where in other countries, they're literally keeping up with what you are saying on your social media as far as like your politics, whether you're like a safe person, citizen, or whatever. So it's just a lot. But I know like with WhatsApp, because I have a friend that is working overseas, and we'll talk through WhatsApp and we'll talk about stuff, and then I see advertisements when I get on Instagram, and I'm just like, or Google, and I'm like, how is this legal? Like, how is it legal? Like, that's not fair. It's not right. And I used to think like, okay, no, it's something wrong with me. I'm just crazy. But no, like seriously, I was telling him one time about how so when I was growing up, Minnie Mouse was like my favorite cartoon character, whatever. And I had two of them that were very special that were given to me in high school. And so my mom ended up tossing one of them because she has this little habit of she used to rummage through stuff and decided, oh, if you're not using this or if you don't seem like you want this, I don't know, give it away, sell it at a garage sale. Thanks, Mom. Anyway, but she ended up giving away one of my favorite Minnie Mouses. And so even though, okay, I'm a little weird, but even though this was like years ago, I don't know, this happened like years ago. But one day I just was thinking about it. It just crossed my mind, and it still bothers me because it's like, I'm kind of sentimental, y'all. Like, I keep like a lot of stuff, like cards, photos, like stuff that's given to me. Like, I really keep this stuff because you just never know. But anyway, so I was on WhatsApp and I just happened to be telling this story, just like I'm telling y'all. Y'all, while I get on Instagram later that day and I have advertisements for Minnie Mouse stuff, and I've never been advertised Minnie Mouse stuff, like ever. And it was that same exact day, like only hours later. And I'm like, this is so freaky, and it's also just wrong. Just wrong. And I don't understand like how they're able to do these things. But it's happening. As y'all can see here, they're having constantly, I think this is like WhatsApp's second security breach. We know this has happened with Facebook before, and I believe WhatsApp and Facebook are owned by the same company or whatever. But it's just too much. I saw something, and I'm trying to remember where I saw it. I think it was like, I can't remember if it was like a cartoon, a comedy show or something, but it was supposed to be like a little funny skit about, they were in an office, you know, you had these people at the desk in the cubicles on the phone, and they were like supposed to be like listening to us, and they were updating their boss on what just regular people were saying, like grandma fed her dog today, or you know what I'm saying, they did this, they did that. And so I'm just thinking like what's the need to constantly surveillance and listen to us? Like it's just crazy. So y'all just keep that in mind. But if you have WhatsApp and they did not send you and they did not send you like an update to update that app, you definitely want to make sure that you do that or whatever. But also I posted a video yesterday. It was actually a highlight video. But hopefully if y'all saw it, hopefully if y'all did not see it, make sure that you definitely check that out. Not Facebook, YouTube is constantly shadow banning me. So if I do certain topics, like the video that I did the highlight on was about Planned Parenthood, they will demonetize it, and they will not really like share it with like new like people that's not already subscribed to me. And then I also have people telling me that they don't get my notifications as well. So definitely make sure that hey Gerald, definitely thank you John, definitely make sure that y'all have like y'all notifications on for me and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, somebody like me talking about Planned Parenthood, you know, that's really not good. That's really not good for the status quo or whatever. So y'all please make sure that y'all are like sharing my videos and stuff like that. And also with everything that's going on now with that, like some of y'all kind of been here with me for a while. Thank you, Paper. I don't do those type of videos. Shay Cash, not here. So not here, not ever. So you might want to try somewhere else. But some of y'all have been kind of like going with me through this journey and like me learning more stuff like about, because I told y'all I just recently even learned like how the freaking procedure for abortion even goes. And I feel like everything that's happening right now with what's going on in Alabama, what's going on in Georgia, what's going on in New York, I just feel like it's a lot to take in. I feel like it's a lot of back and forth and discord between people with very different viewpoints. And for me, it's troublesome to me because I kind of like feel like an outsider, and that's how I kind of began this process in the first place, because oftentimes I feel like the solution, whether you may think it's right or not, because everybody's going to be different and have different beliefs, but I often feel like sometimes the solution is somewhere in the freaking middle. And I'm just never going to promote, push, or agree with legislation that even further would criminalize so many people. So ultimately, I'm not here to judge people, tell people how to live their lives. I have a wide range of friends, family, associates, people I'm cool with that have varying experiences. And ultimately, I just want people to be educated and know what the heck is going on, because I did not. And I feel like when you're informed, you can make a better decision about how you feel about things. But ultimately, like the way that Planned Parenthood targets in their marketing, like young Black women, and how they, just perform on more Black women. I'm like, how do you care about skew statistics all the time and not care when it comes to this? So my channel is always, y'all, like, I try my best to just let people know, like, what the heck is going on, so you can be informed, you can want to know more, you can want to be curious, you can want to be inquisitive, and take it upon yourself to learn even more so than what I can do, because I don't freaking know everything. I don't even pretend to. I really don't. And I'm still growing. My opinions on stuff is evolving and changing. And some stuff I'm still not, completely set on. So, but anyway. So yeah, that's that. So if y'all haven't seen the video, make sure y'all check that out. It was just a highlight video or whatever. But hopefully I'm going to be doing further research, keeping up with this. Some sources are reporting that, so if you don't know, which most of y'all know, but Alabama is basically passing a bill to outlaw almost like all abortions, unless there is a direct threat against the mother's life, as a way to get this to go to the Supreme Court. So Roland said, Rhonda, did you see the pregnant woman shot by the police? Roland, I did not. Now, so we may be talking about the same thing, but I did see a woman that was shot by the police, and she said she was pregnant, but after that they ended up finding out that she in fact was not pregnant. So we may or may not be talking about the same person, Roland. If that's not the person you're talking about, we're not talking about the same person. But the young lady I'm talking about, she pulled a taser on a police officer or whatever. So, but y'all, so do you remember a few years back when everybody was packing up, getting ready to move to Canada? They were saying Black people were finna be put on boats and shipped out of the USA. Black people were getting ready to be put in chains and this, that, and the other. All the fear mongering that was going on and all this. Now on my channel, I know I talk about a lot of stuff, and the possibility of things to happen, and the things we need to be aware of and look at. But my intention is never to fear monger you guys, or say like trigger words, or have y'all scared or ready to pack your stuff up and just move, okay? But anyway, and so Twitter was popping. Everybody, I think Trudeau had tweeted something saying Canada welcomes you. You know what I mean? Everybody was ready to pack up and move to Canada. Okay. Well, those people are still here nonetheless, which is really interesting. But I thought this was interesting, and this kind of ties into what we've been talking about lately, which is hate speech. And I tell y'all, I'm not like, I'm not I can't even think of the word I'm looking for. What was I about to say? I just lost my thought. Anyway, but I think it's important to look at these things, and because they're kind of like a precursor of what's to come, or what they're already trying to push here. Like, these things are currently happening to some degree, to some level. So hey, Water Sniper. Yeah, I'm not very familiar with this story, so I have to check it in, like check it out later. But yeah, so Canada, Ontario. So we have seen so many levels of censorship, y'all, from people being booted off Facebook, people literally being harassed in person, and this is happening all over the freaking globe. I've talked about France. I've talked a little bit about Canada, and I'm getting ready to talk about Canada again. Hey, Super Chicken. But this is this is currently happening. All right, so let me read this to y'all, and this is an opinion piece, actually. And y'all know how sometimes how opinion pieces can be, but I just kind of want y'all to have a general idea of what's going on. Alright, so this is from lifesitenews.com. And it says Ontario bill threatens to criminalize Christian speeches hate. All right, so on March 20th, 2019, Bill 84 was introduced into the Ontario legislature. It is a private member's bill introduced by York Centre MPP Roman Baber. The bill passed second reading at the end of April and is now before the Standing Committee of Justice Policy. The bill is entitled Prohibiting Hate Promoting Demonstrations at Queen Parks Act 2019. The bill provides that no demonstration, rally, or other activity that, in the opinion of the speaker, is likely to promote hatred against any identifiable group shall be permitted on the legislative grounds. So I told y'all, when they introduce these things, it's literally like a drop into a bucket. So these little things that they do become bigger things. They'll make it okay in this one facet, and then they're basically testing these things to see how responsive people are to them, to see if people just accept these things. But anyway, Hate is always unacceptable. No reasonable or rational person accepts or agrees with the deliberate spread of hate. It is unacceptable in a civilized society. The problem with this bill, however, lies in the fact that the definition of hate is uncertain under Canadian law. As a result, unfortunately, the use of the word hate can be a useful tool for some to prevent differing views from being expressed. That is, the word hate can be used to silence opposing views expressed when, in fact, the views are simply a reasonable expression of belief. Okay. This concern is based on actual experience. Canadians have already experienced the contempt shown by the Supreme Court of Canada towards Section 2 of the Charter of Rights, which provides for freedom of opinion, expression, and religion. In the Trinity Western Christian University case in 2018, which was last year, a private Christian university's moral covenant was deemed hateful and discriminating. Okay. So this was just last year, 2018, a Christian school that has their doctrine, their guidelines, and people will say that's hateful, that's discriminating. Now, I'm the type of person, I believe I don't want to be anywhere where I'm not wanted, period. So if those bylaws for that Christian university does not mesh with me and my personality, I don't want to be there anyway. I'm not going to force myself upon you. So in the Bill Woodcock case 2013, the Supreme Court of Canada concluded that the effects of an expression used, not the communicator's intent, or what is relevant. The court went on to conclude that truthful statements and sincerely held beliefs do not affect the finding of hate. Mr. Woodcock merely expressed in his pamphlet the well-established facts about homosexuality, which the court held to be hateful. So this just goes on to talk about this. So this part says that there is a consensus in Canada, for example, that anti-Semitism and any other discrimination on the basis of faith, whether Christian, Islamic, Sikh, or Hindu, is indeed vile and hateful. No single individual should have the legal right to define hate and ban expressions of speech or demonstrations, especially on the grounds of the provincial legislature, which is a public place presumably owned and operated on behalf of the citizens. So, and one of my other tabs, where'd it go? I think my computer knocked it out. It was from the actual Ontario legislature that, let me see, where'd it go? The bill, this is Bill 84. So anyway, this is no coincidence that this is literally happening to some degree all over the freaking world. It's already happening here with what we have going on with Facebook, okay? When we normalize things in a social way, they become part of legislation. That's what people need to understand. So people thinking, oh, it's just Facebook. Facebook is its own private company. Like I told you, I have that same energy when you watch these videos of these private companies kicking Black people out for whatever reason, and then it's a problem. No, you need to have that same standard and be the same across the board. So are you for private companies being able to do what the heck they want or not? I mean, it's just that simple. You can't have it both ways. It doesn't work like that or whatever. So don't forget, this is the place. Hey, Cajun. don't forget, this is the place. Everybody was packing up and just moving 3 years ago. Everybody was up and ready to go to Canada. You literally have, if I'm not mistaken, I think that was in Canada. Y'all let me know if I'm wrong. In Canada, people locked up for posting rap lyrics on Facebook. Like, this is already happening here. People are being discouraged by politicians to protest. Let me show y'all this. I know most of y'all already saw this. But it's already happening. If the politicians here are trying to do it, you don't think that eventually they're going to push legislation to follow in the footsteps of our freaking neighbor, Canada, where all of them were just hailing as some type of beacon of progressiveness. You know what I mean? But let me show y'all this, and I'm sure a lot of y'all already seen this. But this is freaking politicians harassing people for protesting.
Planned Parenthood of Southeastern Pennsylvania, they have to deal with people like this every single day. They deal with people out here every single day telling others what's right for their bodies. But we're not going to let them get away with it. Absolutely not. No, ma'am. Don't hide. Don't hide. You're publicly protesting women coming to a Planned Parenthood. It's something they have a right to do. Don't hide from it. Don't hide from it. Have the courage of your broken convictions if this is what you're going to do. Everyone, this is what they deserve and this is what they need. Every single time any of us walk by something like this, we're letting them win. We're letting them think that they are right, and we know better. These people have no business telling anybody else what's right for their body. They have no business telling people of color what they think about what they do with their families, with their own family planning. This is disgusting. This isn't Christianity. This isn't love. This isn't support. This isn't kindness.
People of color. People of color. You see, he had to put the little emphasis on it, right? Because you totally care, I'm sure, right? You totally care about people of color. Picking on this old lady, whatever way. I don't, she, this video started at this point. So I don't know what the heck she was doing before this video. But in whatever way she chooses to protest, if she's not hurting anybody, abusing anybody, infringing on their rights, this is her right to do so.
This is the hiding, shameful face of those that judge at Planned Parenthood. It's disgusting.
That's a freaking politician. It's all, so when people say that'll never be us, it's already here. It's already happening. It already is us. Don't think for 1 second we are on the brink of this legislation. We're at the freaking door. Hey, R. Jules. Hey, Gab. Now, he loved that little people of color. He had to put the emphasis on it. You have no right to, and the fact that he even said people of color when talking about this lets me know that he knows as well that people of color use Planned Parenthood services in higher numbers. Because if not so, why even say that? And so I don't know if that moment he was basically trying to trigger her to say oh, you're racist. So that's the reason he said that. But why was that even necessary in this thing, in that whole little rant? Now, he was so excited. Oh, you can't tell people of color what to do. Now, keep in mind, this same man, it's another video. His name is Brian Sims. There's another video of him doing the same thing to 2 other young ladies. I think it was probably a group. It was probably 4 of them, 2 to 4. And he was literally calling for people to basically dox them. if y'all know who these people are, you know, I want to know their names, this and the other. And I'm like, wow. Now, y'all see how excited he was to jump in this old lady's face. All right. Use the term people of color. Okay. But how much do you really care about people of color? So y'all, this video looked like it was taken on a Motorola. But a 1992 version. But y'all just need to get the gist of this. So this is a black guy approaching that same man. And he's like, but you don't talk to brown and black people in your community, in your area. You don't speak for them. You don't speak on their behalf. And I don't even think this was a response to the video I just showed y'all. This wasn't a response video to my understanding. This is literally just this guy approaching him or whatever.
You kept your goddamn mouth closed. You kept your motherfucking mouth closed when it came to black people being discriminated against in the neighborhood. And I'm asking you, why? 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 Get that. I'm asking you, Brian. No, let's stop here. Why did you keep your mouth closed? No, I want to have a conversation with the people. I've invited you multiple times. You have not invited me multiple times. Why isn't Brian Sims having conversations with black and brown people? Brian Coward, go ahead with him. You want to be on camera? You can run with him. Brian Sims.
He said, why isn't Brian Sims having conversations with black and brown people? Now, this is the guy that was just pretending, or maybe in his mind was just defending black and brown people, right? Because you're totally when it comes to, they call it medical, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. But when it comes to her body, her choice, you're all behind black and brown people, right? You totally down. You for the people. But now, when you have someone, a man that approaches you, now you don't want to talk. You can't have a discussion. You shut down. You run away.
You need to start talking to the people in your fucking community, black and brown people. You need to start talking while you were silent when black people were being discriminated against as fucking eye candy. You need to start fucking talking about it. Don't fucking run. Your pet boys are not here. You need to start fucking talking about it. Why were you fucking silent? Brian Sims.
So, like, I'm so tired of that. Like, I'm tired of it. I'm tired
How freaking awesome is this?
What is that?
So good. Betty, we're gonna make the fish first.
I'm so tired of black people being used when it's convenient. Like, I hate when politicians do that. And this is important. This is why it's important why we care about our own issues. Period. Somebody commented to me and told me, you're crazy if you think Trump actually cares about black babies. Why do I give a crap? Regardless, I care about black babies, regardless of what Trump cares about. So what was that even to say? Who gives a crap? I don't care who cares about black babies. I do. And I think it's important for, if anybody to care about black babies, it should be black people. That just makes sense to me. But in her mind, she felt so like, what you thought you were getting me with that? Like, you really, that's just even more ridiculous. That's stupid. If anybody should care, I should care. So, like, what's that to say? Oh, he doesn't care, so you shouldn't? Like, what do people be thinking? Like, who gives a crap what they care about? I care. That's our job to care. These politicians, in fact, oftentimes destroy more than they build. They mess things up. They mess things harder. The freaking government is doing way more than it was put in place to do. The government wasn't supposed to be some type of moral figure or parental guidance to be in every aspect of our life. When I say I don't like that and I don't want to see more people criminalized, and I don't like the way the government even runs our freaking schools, that's bothersome to me. But I know that there's nobody that's going to swoop in and save you. You have to do it yourself. So I don't give a care what these freaking white politicians care about for our schools and our children and our babies. I don't care. That's why anytime I can, I don't have kids, but I've always worked in my community literally since I was a teenager, because it's important to me. Nobody else going to come and do it. I have to do it. And so I always encourage people. These schools, a lot of these teachers, they have good hearts and they mean well, but this is still a state-funded agency. They still have agendas. They only can do so much. So it's up to you to educate your own children. You're going to have to maybe work 5-10 times harder. But I'm sorry, it's life and it's what it has become. And so the burden is going to have to be on you. And I don't like that it has to be that way, but it is, because you cannot wait on anybody. If we wait on anybody else to fix these problems, it's not going to happen. It's just not. And so we make people empowered when you understand what the government was actually supposed to do. You literally have politicians now wanting to put banks inside of post offices. Like, these people want to control every aspect of everything. And I don't trust them, and neither should you. Neither should Black people in particular. I don't trust them. And so, yes, it's going to be on us to educate us, inform us, educate your own children, do what you can with your life, because they're not going to do it right. They're not going to do it right. These people are motivated by agenda, by money, by selfish motivations, by globalism, by evil. It's so much going on. It's so much going on. I try to tell people, everything that you think, oh, that'll never happen to us, that won't happen here. It's slowly happening. It's happening right now. They're pushing the needle further and further. They're pushing the needle further and further, and they're literally doing it under the guise of, we're helping you, we're for you. And every time they say that, we see how it in fact hurts us, kills us, makes it worse for us, makes our communities worse. And so why people even still get out here and even protest and do all this stuff, Y'all, it's some crazy people out here. Hey, Kenny. It's some crazy people out here. And I wouldn't tell people not to protest. I believe in the right to do so. But make sure it's worth it, and it's something that you're literally willing to be harassed and possibly even die over, because these people are crazy, and a lot of people don't even realize that a lot of times you're just a casualty. You're a pawn in a bigger agenda. So ultimately, it's not me against you, because most times we want the same things, but we're being tricked, we're being misguided, we're being blinded to believe that it's me and it's you, and it's not always like that. It's just not. We are being used to further other people's agendas, other groups' agendas. And I think we have to look at these things realistically, and maybe even take another look and do more research, because things are always changing. Literally. I swear to y'all, if I was not doing what I'm doing now with the whole YouTube thing, I would have never in my life have known about this push for late term abortions. I wouldn't have known, because the information is suppressed. A lot of people still don't know this stuff. And so when you know, and then you can make more informed decisions. And I feel like if we lived in a society where we were freely given information, full information, the pros, the cons, some stuff we don't want to think about, we may not want to talk about, but the truth, I just think it would be much different. It would be a totally different society. But a lot of times we are jaded on talking points. I can tell now when people talk to me and it's just literally like you're using the same exact talking points and they just spit them out like it's nothing. And I'm like, okay, but now what about you? What about your thoughts? How do you feel about this? How did you come to this conclusion? And when we don't have some type of standard, common ground, normalcy, it just lets everything in. Every freaking thing in. So for people that, most of y'all probably in here, like y'all been rocking with me for a while. So I think y'all have like a broader view of like my views and where I stand on certain issues. But ultimately, I'm just less politics as possible, less government as possible, and you're going to have to take that responsibility, because it hasn't been done, and I just don't have the faith that what a lot of people think the government is supposed to do, like it's supposed to be some type of saving grace or magically, come in and make your life better. It's not possible, because it's man-made. And anywhere you have men, it's going to be something. It's always going to be something, because then you start to bring in greed. You start to bring in different personalities. You start to bring in discord, disagreements. And so if I could just get people to see that, if I could get people to see how if they bring, if America was to, the USA was to ever have any type of hate speech laws, okay, like Canada, and they're saying you cannot protest certain identifiable groups, soon those identifiable groups are going to be, it's going to start with, it'll start with, they'll try to do somebody like black people, right? Because they throw us in there first. And then, of course, then it'll be LGBT. And then before you know it, you can't protest against police officers. You can't protest against your government. But by that time, they done took your rights away before you could think straight. And you let it creep in there that fast. Because you felt like they told you they were protecting you. But in fact, it's going to end up adversely affecting you, impacting you. And so I don't understand, you got to see what's down the road. Like we have to look at the bigger picture, not the little, oh, I'm just trying to help you. We're just trying to protect you. We're doing this for you. Let me see what else you got up your sleeve. Let me see what could be down the road. Let me look at China and Venezuela and look at them surveillancing people and saying, and giving this person a social credit score and saying, oh, you're not safe. You talk out against your government. You talk out against political figures. We're going to follow you now. We're going to track you now through Facebook, through your cell phone, through WhatsApp. We're already breaching your security. So, I mean, hey, it's only one step further. Like, you literally have people all over being put in jail for speaking out. It started with, oh, we want to protect LGBT, we want to protect transgender, we want to protect their feelings. Now you got to go to jail for speaking out against Muslims, for speaking out against immigration, for speaking out. All this is leading up to speaking out against your government. I mean, it's really a drop in the bucket for that. That's what it is. But they're not going to come to you and say, hey, I think today we're going to introduce legislation to make it illegal to speak out against your government. They're not going to do it like that, right? They need a way to slowly introduce things, make you comfortable, make it okay. This is the same exact thing they did with the abortion. We started off with sane, legal, and rare. I think that's what it was called. Sane, legal, and rare. Oh, we just care about the health of the woman. We're so pro women. We're for women. And then the next thing you know, you literally have people pushing bills to, pushing bills to abort babies up until 9 months till birth. I've showed y'all the videos. They said this out of their own mouths. This is not me trying to rationalize or theorize what they said. I've showed you guys them saying these things. And so this is what they do. And literally, it was the same thing with the freaking drug war. We've seen what that has done. It started, oh, we just want to keep your community safe. We just want to keep your community safe. Tell me how much safer they are. How many years later? Safer? Did it work? So this idea that it's going to be different in different capacities is not. And I don't see where people get their faith from. Seeing Clip said Malcolm X will be sick of our behavior as people. This is not a new playbook. We're still in the same trap. You are so right. And like I listened to a lot of Malcolm X clips and stuff like that. And if people could really get the gist that the values are still the same, right? Like what he was preaching is the same. Like, love your family. Men, take care of your responsibilities. Like, love your women. Women, nurture and teach your children. Protect your families. Protect your communities. Protect yourself. Like, and this idea to, I mean, it's the same. It's the same. Sinclair said the founder had it correct. The government's job is to get out of the way and protect us from other governments. Absolutely. Thank you, Sinclair. But Mel said usually these rights will be freely given up before it becomes a law. It will be subtle and not overtly. You are so freaking right. And it's like the perfect way to put that. And that's what I want people to see. It's this subtle, like, oh, we're just trying to do what's best for you. But look at the people in Venezuela. You literally had some news commentator who came out and said, I don't know if y'all have seen that clip, but he literally came out and said, look at what's happening in Venezuela. The government has the guns, so the government has the control. It's just that simple. It's literally that simple. It's literally that simple. Now you have Cory Booker coming out with some type of proposal to basically like help lower the number of suicides by putting in these other laws to make it harder for people to get firearms and stuff like that. And I'm like, when you hear these things, like the knee-jerk emotional reaction is, oh, of course we're against suicide. We don't want people, veterans, veterans commit the most suicide. We don't want that. You know what I mean? We don't want that because we don't. But when you look at to do that, you have to implement all these other restrictions that could impact other people and actually hurt or affect that veteran if their life is in danger. We need to look at other ways to make stuff happen. Look at the root causes of these problems without all the freaking restrictions. That's where we mess up at. Gab said, Rhonda, one of our youngest and brightest minds. I'm so proud of you. Thank you, Gab. Mel said gun buybacks are one way. So I don't think there have been a gun buybacks in like a lot of countries, and I don't think they're going to do that here or try to do that here any time soon. But I've heard people and politicians say like the whole Constitution, like it just needs to be done over. But I'm like, do you realize what you're implying? Because if you start that, it doesn't stop. You know what I mean? It doesn't stop. And you can be very empowered when you actually understand how evil this government is, how evil. I don't care if these people look like you, they're cool and they're hip, they're at their kitchen counter drinking beers and on social media, and they're acting like they're standing up for people of color. Ultimately, a lot of these people are in these positions for their own motivations, and a lot of times they don't even think for themselves when it comes to these legislations and these policies. They feel like, I'm the type of person, I don't care that I'm a part of a group, or if I'm with my friends and all my friends feel some type of way. If I'm not with it, I'm not with it, and that's just the end of the story. So I've always had a problem with, you never vote against party lines, like ever. Like you just never. Like, something's not right to me about that. And I don't like that system. But all these things are happening, but we can be very much so empowered once you see how this was intended to be. You know what I mean? How you were intended to have freedom of speech, have gun rights for these very reasons. These very reasons. Have freedom of religion for these very reasons. And if you ever need to be reminded, look at France, look at China, look at Venezuela, look at Russia, look at Canada, you know? So, y'all, that's all I came on here to say. I guess I got in my little zone because I really didn't even plan to go into all this. But thanks in clips for the super chats. But y'all, like I said, you know, YouTube is very much so shadow banning me. Like if I do certain topics, if I talk about certain topics, you know what I mean? They're not going to, they're not going to share my videos with people. So y'all please keep sharing my video. You know what I'm saying? You see a young black girl on here with her hoop earrings and her hair wrap, and she telling people to understand why you have gun rights. Understand why you have freedom of speech. Understand the things that could happen, and these people that pretend to look like you and be so quick to use the term people of color and throw that out there, they really don't give a crap about you. YouTube is not taking kindly to that. They're not feeling it. So they're just not with it. And I mean, I'm just gonna keep it gets discouraging. But I'm gonna try to do what I keep doing. And some people, if you haven't seen my videos and you don't get the underlying message that I'm trying to push, some people will take just something that I say, or they'll take a title and run with it. But really, I want freedom for people. I want people to have actual liberation, actually progress their life, actually not be oppressed by more laws and being more criminalized for their decisions ultimately. So thank you, Digibyte. Thank you to Sadie. Said keep it up, sis. Mailman said YouTube ain't feeling a lot of things these days. You absolutely right. And then somebody came in here. I don't even know if it was a follower. Somebody just trying to be funny. I wasn't really bothered by it. But somebody said, when you gonna do a twerk video? Okay, you trying to be funny, but the fact of the matter is, if I did, I probably would have way more subscribers, way more followers. YouTube would be so eager to promote my videos because they like to promote a certain stereotype. They're another leg of the mainstream mainstream media, and they like to as well project a certain image. And it can be very hard to break out of it, especially for newcomers like me. Now, some of the people that's been doing it longer, they built their following like longer ago, and so they're still being shadow banned as well, though. That's the crazy part about it. But I'm sitting up here trying to empower people and help people understand and become inquisitive about the reason you had these rights in the first place and the things that's happening to suppress and oppress those further and further hurt you. So it's very possible. Thank you, Esau. Thank you, R. Jules. But so I'll try to continue doing what I'm doing. But thank y'all 100% for y'all support, because sometimes I'm getting more used to it now and like the feedback, but sometimes I don't know, it can just put you in a weird space because you're kind of just like putting yourself out here in front of the world. But like I've always told y'all, because y'all support me and thank y'all for doing so, I answer to my own convictions. I'm not paid for anybody to tell y'all these thoughts. And some of my thoughts, y'all probably don't agree with everything I say, but I don't have anybody funding me or saying, say this or don't say that. Everything I say is from my heart. It's actually how I feel. So I thank y'all for even giving me the platform to do so. But I'm gonna continue doing it. Send Clip said quality audience is better than quantity anyhow. It's a gift with YouTube shady algorithms. You're right. Quality over quantity. You're absolutely right about that. Hip Hop Independent said free thinking is not popular. Helena J said we love you bunches. I'm sorry if my comments upset you. You never send me comments that upset me. Mel said, keep doing what you're doing. Speak your truth. Thank you. I'm going to keep trying to. I'm definitely going to keep trying to. Thank you, Sage. But all right, y'all. I got on my little soapbox for a minute. And y'all know when I get to going, I be gone. But anyway. All right, y'all. So I probably have some more videos coming out hopefully this week. But y'all have a really good, successful, productive week. Please keep liking and sharing the videos. The more likes I get, the more supposedly the algorithm recommends the videos to other people. So but all right, y'all have a good night. Thank everybody so much for the super chats, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.